Good morning, Your Honor.
Hello. What case are you here for? What case are you here for? Oh, he went away.
Yeah, I put
Somebody,
him in the waiting room. He's on the Shabazz case, the alternate service.
he's trying to get the service.
Yeah, he's from Fod Hot's office.
All right, Mr. Macklitz first.
Yes.
Good morning, Mr. Macklett. You're muted. I can't hear you.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Mr. Macklett, when you were here last, I put your motion over because I wanted you to supplement your pleading so I could grant it without a hearing. And you didn't. If you did, haven't seen it.
I did not, Judge. This morning, I ran a background check. I have a report I'd like to share with the court, which I had to pay for. And it provides us with an address for Mrs. Kane. This is from White Pages, which is a reputable background check
Oh,
company.
yeah, you can find all that same stuff on familytreenow.com for free.
I should have asked for your advice, Judge.
Yeah.
It cost me $12.
Oh, yeah, no, that was going familytreenow.com. They tell
Family
everybody
Tree.
business. Last known
Okay.
addresses, phone numbers, email addresses. It's right there on familytreenow.com. Is the worst website ever. It even gives your relatives. So if you can't,
Okay.
if you can't get the person, you could get their mama. Get
Oh,
yourself
well,
off of there. You gotta delete yourself.
well, honestly, that's great because I need that. A lot of these defendants are hard to get, Judge, and so
So
okay,
you
I'll
want to
use
send it
that.
over on the
Yeah,
email?
you want me to email that to you, Judge? What is the email I should send it
Send
to?
it to Judge Lillard Court.
Dash
Is it
court
the
at
same address you were looking at?
no.
Okay, so you want to try a different address?
I could. Do you? What do you want me to do, Judge? You want me to
Let me see it. Send it over to me. I'll
Judge
check it.
Lillard dash court? Is it 3rdcc.org?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna send it to you right now. Do you need me
Okay,
to
well,
put the case number in the thing or no?
no, Kim know you sending it.
I just sent it. It's
And
sent.
she'll put it right to me. I'm gonna put you back in the waiting room while I check it
Okay.
out, okay?
All right, thanks, sir.
Kim, let me know when you got it to me.
Okay. Can you check the emails because mine isn't coming up? The Judge Lillard court.
Yeah, what are we looking for?
Mr. Macklett just sent a document for the alternate service. Judge Scott's got it and he's sending it to you now.
Hi, Judge.
Mr. Macklin, I'm gonna need you to approach. Let me create a breakout room.
Okay.
Okay. Kim, whenever you're ready, you can call this case.
Calling case number 24005-064, Mohammed versus Kane et al.
Your
Good morning,
appearances
Your
for the
Honor.
record, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Dan Macklett, appearing on behalf of the plaintiff, Hadil Mohammed.
Good morning,
Um,
Mr. Macklett. This is an adjourned date for your motion for alternate service. And you have some updated information regarding the defendant's whereabouts you want to place on the record.
Yes, Your Honor. Just a brief history. We tried to serve the defendant, Alicia Kane, at the Clifford Drive address in Macomb, Michigan, which was the address located that was on the police report. We attempted to serve her at that address in person, personal service. That particular home came back vacant. We did a postal search. There was indication from the United States Postal Service that there was a change of address. I came before this court a couple of weeks ago on a hearing, and the court requested, did not at that time grant our motion for alternate service. The court requested that we dig a little deeper and get more information as to defendant Kane's address. We did do that, Your Honor, and we did a search online at a reputable search engine here, and we came up with two addresses. The first address, Your Honor, is 19466 Ashton, Detroit, Michigan, 48219. The second address is 471 Tobin Drive, number 311 Inkster, Michigan, 48141. Your Honor, in light of this updated information, we are requesting that the court allow us to achieve alternative service on defendant Kane by both posting on these two addresses and mailing the summons and complaint by registered mail to both of these addresses, Your Honor.
Okay, and the reason why I just think we did have a sidebar, and I think the reason why I want you to do it at both addresses is that the information seems to suggest that the Inkster address was where she lived until January of 2024. So given that, and that the Ashton address in Detroit is the current address. So given that the Ashton address in Detroit appears to be relatively new, I think to be safe, it's best to attempt service at both of those addresses.
Noted, Your Honor.
So I'll grant your motion, submit the order, I'll sign it.
Okay, thank you, Judge. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And just make sure you supplement the pleadings to include those two addresses, because if for some reason she at some point attempts to challenge it, the written record needs to support why your alternate service was granted at an address
Okay.
different than what's in your motion.
Will do, Your Honor. Will do.
Okay, thank you. Have a good day.
You too, Judge. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor. Good to see you again.
Likewise. Kim, whenever you're ready, you could call the case.
Calling case number 23007-491, VHS of Michigan, Inc. versus Bristol West Insurance Company et al.
Your appearance for the record, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Kevin Capone appearing for defendant Allstate.
Good morning. This is the date and time set for a show cause hearing that dealt with Stanton Colquitt Jr. appearing for a deposition on June 12th. I'm assuming by your presence here today that Stanton Colquitt did not appear for the deposition.
That is correct, Your Honor. Just if I may give a little background, because I've been in contact with Mr. Colquitt. He said he told me he couldn't appear for the deposition because he works long hours. He couldn't get time off for the deposition with his HR rep. But I told him, this order from the court, and he understood that. I gave him all the information for today, for today's hearing, the order. I emailed it to him. I talked to him. He seems he wants to cooperate, but unfortunately, I don't know why he's not showing up today or for the deposition. So,
Okay, I'll issue a bench warrant for his arrest.
do I need to issue an order or prepare an
You-
order to effect, Your Honor?
There's a scale for him,
Okay.
and he'll have a $5,000 bond.
Your Honor, if I may, can I also, I mean, I understand the court's protocols for this. I mean, I don't want to see Mr. Colquitt put in jail for this, but if I can
That's
have
why
an
you tell
order,
him that the court has issued a warrant for his arrest and that he can avoid it by he could come on the Zoom on Monday. It's
okay,
gonna take time for it to get entered in lien for him to be actually arrested.
okay.
But if
No,
you're in communication with him, tell him because he didn't show up for court today, that I've issued a bench warrant for his arrest and he can avoid being arrested by coming on a Zoom on Monday morning.
Okay, I will let him know.
Perhaps that will endear some cooperation from him. I mean, if he
I hope
works
so.
long hours, he can take 5 minutes and pop on a Zoom.
I tried telling him that, but unfortunately, it looks like he didn't want to
Okay.
appear today.
Well, he doesn't want to go to jail.
I I would hope
I
not.
mean,
Your
what
Honor.
other option do I have?
I mean, I would just like an orders, indicating that he's in contempt of court. I've had that on a couple other of these show causes.
He is
And
in contempt for failure to appear today,
right.
and there's a bench warrant for his arrest for his failure to appear.
No, okay.
Willfully disregard this court's order, and in fact, because it's civil contempt, he can be jailed until he complies indefinitely. I mean, you can explain all this to him.
I will, Your Honor.
And it takes a while for those, once you prepare the paperwork, submit it to me, have to sign it, has to go on a lien. It's not instant. He won't, I mean, so he can avoid all this by coming on a Zoom on Monday and coming to an agreement about a date and time for the deposition.
9 a.m. Monday.
Yep, that's fine. We'll be here.
Okay.
I might be in trial. If I am, I'll take a break.
Okay.
Okay, have a good day.
Thank you, Your Honor. You as well.
I forgot to take my Claritin. Good morning.
Hello, good morning, Your Honor.
Whose ceiling fan am I looking at? Why am I seeing a ceiling fan?
That's my client. Sam, are you there?
Yeah, sorry, I'm just trying to see the mute button.
There we go. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Kim, whenever you're ready, you can call this case.
Calling case number 22012201, Al Shibli et al. Versus Al Khatib et al.
Your appearance for the record, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Stephen Batskouras on behalf of the plaintiffs.
Good morning. There's no one here for the defendant?
That is correct, Your Honor. Sister counsel reached out to me earlier this week and said she would not be appearing. She did submit a response to our motion and
Oh, hold on, I haven't
papers.
seen that. Give me a second. She filed it as a miscellaneous pleading, so I would have had no way to know that it was a response to a motion. All right. Are you prepared for me to swear your client?
Yes,
Ma'am, can you raise your right hand? You need to unmute. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you will now give in the cause pending before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I solemnly swear.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Whenever you're ready, you may proceed.
Your Honor, this is plaintiff's motion to approve settlement for a minor. At the time of the crash, minor plaintiff, Masoma Abid, was a passenger in a vehicle, and she was injured in a motor vehicle crash. Her mother has brought suit on her behalf, and we were able to reach a settlement. We're seeking approval of that today. Can I go ahead and voir dire my client?
Yes.
All right. Good morning, Sama. How are you?
Good morning, Steve. How are you?
I'm well, thanks for asking. Masoma, I'm going to go over some things, or excuse me, Sam, I'm going to go over some things regarding Masoma. Just go ahead and answer my questions truthfully, and we'll get through today, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Sama, are you the mother of Masoma Abid?
Yes, sir, I am.
Okay, and was your daughter involved in a motor vehicle crash on May 1st of 2022?
Yes, sir.
And was she injured in that crash?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you were appointed next of friend for her in this lawsuit?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you're aware that we did file a lawsuit and we proceeded through the lawsuit. Is that your understanding?
Yes, sir.
And that we did reach a settlement in the amount of $30,000 for Masoma. Is that your understanding?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and do you believe that is a fair and reasonable settlement for Masoma?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and out of the settlement, you're aware that there are costs, attorney fees, and then a medical lien that needs to be paid. You're aware of that?
Yes, sir.
And I have gone over those numbers with you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. In your honor, those numbers for costs, attorney fees, and the Medicare, or excuse me, Medicaid lien are attached as Exhibit 3 of our
Why is
motion.
there a Medicare lien on these proceeds? Why wouldn't that be against PIP benefits, not against this third party benefit?
Because those are, Medicaid has that super lien where if it is out of our third party suit, there was no representation of the first party. I
Sure.
apologize, I got
Continue.
booted there.
Okay.
So Medicaid, since there was no representation of the first party matter, we had to pay that from the third party settlement. And out of that, so that's an exhibit 3. And then additionally, Sama, you're aware that the remaining, so $5,000 out of that settlement pursuant to MCL 700-5102 is going to go directly to you for the benefit and the support and education of Masoma. You're aware of that, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then the remaining funds are going to be placed into an annuity. So when Masoma becomes 18, she's going to get she's going to get the money based on the structure that we went over. Is that your understanding?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And again, you're aware that we could have went to trial in this case, where we could have done better, we could have done worse, or we could have got nothing at all. Is that your understanding?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you You've been advised of those risks along the way, and you still believe that the settlement for the 30,000 for Masoma is fair, reasonable, and in her best interest.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you are happy and satisfied with me and my firm's representation of you and your daughter in this matter.
Absolutely, yes, sir.
Uh, Your Honor, at this time, plaintiff moves for the granting of her motion to approve the settlement.
All right, I see no reason not to grant this motion. Your motion will be granted. Submit the order. I'll sign it. Have a good day.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
very much. Sama, you can go ahead and log off. I'll give you a call shortly.
Thank you, Safe. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Kim, whenever you're ready, you can call this case.
Calling case number 24003-697 Shabazz versus Johnson Rice.
Your appearance for the record, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Chris Mene appearing on behalf of the plaintiff in this matter.
Good morning, Mr. Minnie. This is the second time that this matter is up before the court. When it was last up, I asked that the matter be adjourned for further supplementing of pleadings because the affidavit of the process server indicated that they went to the house, that they saw mail there that was addressed to someone else, that the person who was living there said that that person didn't live there, that the neighbor said that that was not the person that lived there. And they had even suggested, the current resident suggested that the process server make contact with the property manager, Ashley, to figure out if this Johnson Rice ever lived there or left a forwarding address. And we're back today and there's been no supplementing of the record.
Yes, Your Honor. So maybe it's my fault. Maybe I was a little confused, but what I did do on that day, actually, right after our hearing, was I called the property manager, and she told me that she doesn't ever remember someone by that name at that address because it was a different person, but she did know that that person was evicted because of numerous violations. She gave me a phone number to that prior tenant that we believe Mr. Johnson was living with, and I tried to call that number, but that number has since been disconnected. So that was as far as I got with contacting the property manager to find out more information on, if they left a forwarding address or anything. She said they were evicted, they lost their security deposit, they didn't leave a forwarding address, but she did have a phone number on file for them, which I called.
But that person wasn't Bryce.
That person wasn't Bryce, but that was the person whose name the apartment was under.
Okay, so how can I grant alternate service to this address where you know this person doesn't live and you have nothing that supports your proposition that this person ever lived there?
Right, Your Honor. So I'm actually not asking for like tacking or anything like that. I mean, what?
Yeah, but in order for me to grant alternate service by publication, you need to be able to convince me that you've made reasonable and good faith efforts to obtain service otherwise at this person's last known address. And you've done nothing to demonstrate to me that this person ever lived at this address that you're attempting to serve him at.
Yes, Your Honor. So what I actually did as well last week, because I wanted to tried to make sure I pulled all the stops out to ensure that, we're doing this the right way. Cause like, honestly, Your Honor, I really don't get much use out of like if somebody doesn't actually get served, it doesn't help me. Judgment against someone that's never been served is just a piece of paper. So I totally understand the court's concern here. I sent letters via first class mail to each and every address that Mr. Johnson was had on his record, which I believe I submitted as an exhibit to my motion. I sent.
There's no exhibit that shows that.
Did you get wasn't there like a screenshot that showed a list of his addresses in the past
No.
like 10 years or something? Oh,
No, this is all I
okay.
have. I have this where he's attempting to be the motion for verification for alternate service, and then proof of non-service. That's all I have.
Okay, so I pulled up a list of like 7 or 8 addresses that Lexus found on the people search. I sent letters via first class mail to all of them, indicating who I was and that I was looking to get in touch with the defendant. To my knowledge, to this day, nobody has called the firm, nobody has sent a letter back. There's really, so I did the people search, sent letters to all the address, and then I even contacted the property manager, who gave me a phone number, but the phone number is disconnected. And she did confirm that there were multiple.
What made you think that he ever lived at that address?
That was the address that was on the police report, Your Honor. And it was also the address that was the most recent one that was listed on the Lexus people search. She did confirm that there were multiple males living at that address during the time of this accident. But as I said, they had since been evicted, lost their security deposit, and the only thing she had on them was a phone number. Because I remember you asked me to reach out to the property manager, see if they left a forwarding address or something. They did not split, so to speak, on amicable terms. So they didn't leave like a forwarding address or anything.
I'm going to share my screen with you.
Yes, Your Honor.
So there's this website. It's called familytreenow.com. And it gives all kinds of information about people for free. Have you ever heard of this website?
I have not, Your Honor. I just used Lexus people search. Her firm has like the Lexus.
So that same address in Allen Park, but it also has phone numbers. And one of these phone numbers was reported as recently as May of 2024 as being the phone number for the person you're trying to reach. Do you know if any of these addresses are the same addresses that you found before?
Yes, Your Honor.
This seems to indicate that he may have been living in Texas.
Yes, the only different one, Your Honor, that I see that I had not seen before was the Missouri address. That I did not see on the Lexus people search, but all these other addresses, including the one in Fort Worth, Texas, because that was on the people search, did get mail from my office. As for the phone number that shows May of 2024, I see there that it indicates that's a voice over internet protocol phone number. What that means is that is likely.
I know what it means.
Yeah, it's just a texting app. I could try.
Well, it could be Google Voice.
It could be Google Voice.
And then there's a wireless number from April of 2024.
Correct, Your Honor. So that number, I believe, is the same one that was on the police report. Pull that up.
Have you tried calling that number? I'm about to stop sharing this because this is on YouTube. I mean, I guess it's no big deal. It's on the internet for free anyway. So I guess it doesn't matter if it's on YouTube.
Yeah. s-
So anyway. You
I've
should check,
tried, I'm sorry, Your Honor, what'd you say?
you should check that out. FamilyTreeNow.com.
FamilyTreeNow.com. Okay, may I?
I am not a paid spokesperson for FamilyTreeNow.com. In fact, I don't like FamilyTreeNow.com. I only know about FamilyTreeNow.com because I spent a lot of time trying to teach other judges how to get their information off of there.
Well, I appreciate you showing me, Your Honor. May I respectfully request one last adjournment in this
Certainly.
case? Thank you.
When you want to come back?
If I can come back next week, I'm sure I can have all this done by
Can
then.
he come back next week?
That's fine.
All right, see you next week.
Okay, thank you, Judge. Have a good weekend.
Welcome, bye. Kim, that's our last motion.
That is it.
We're gonna pay for this